What's up there guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Seafarer. So since my first video, this game has received an update and I'm going to be running through what that update includes as part of this video. In the introductory episode we got started with the introductory tutorial along with the Port Authority tutorial. In this episode we're going to be cracking on with the cargo tutorial. I'm going to be giving you some hints and tips. I'm also going to be asking you a few questions that you can reply to in the comments section. If you enjoy this video, please do hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I would of course love that if you'd go ahead and do that. And yeah guys, without further ado, please do grab yourself a drink. Let's hit the water. Alright then folks, first things first, just to recap, in the last episode we got started with the introductory tutorial. We moved on to the Tide Guard tutorial, which is basically a police job where we checked some details about a couple of ships and then we escorted one of them into the dock. In this episode we're going to be cracking on with the logistics side of things, where we're going to be driving the ferry after loading it. So let's go ahead and get started with that by hitting play tutorial. Alright then folks, so to get us started here, looking up in the top right hand corner I can see that we've got 3 tasks that we need to complete. So that is to place the containers on the ship, to sail to Mettington, and then to clear the containers and offload. And basically we can do that by taking the steering wheel. Firstly, I just thought it'd be good to take a quick look around this vessel because it is quite cool. So we do have, I guess, the control room here, or the bridge, with a number of screens and things that you could look at, I guess. Usually you'd have a full crew in here. And we do have a couple of other doors here where we can go out. So we've got a door here that's sort of like a viewing platform. I'm not too sure what this would be called. But there's another door there leading back into there. And yeah, just going back indoors now. I will get into the updates and what's been improved with the game. We'll do that once we hit the waters though, because we'll be driving for quite a way on this mission anyway in this tutorial. We've got some basically crew rooms here. These doors don't open, but these two do, with an out-facing window there as well. This one's pretty similar to that one, to be fair. And then if you head downstairs on this boat, you do have, similar to the tug, we've got also an engine room as well, which you eventually find if you head down and into the bottom section here and head along here. Now thankfully, if anything goes wrong with the engine, we don't have to take all this huge walk. You can teleport as well. So we've got the engines here, one at either side, and then you can open this door, and this is sort of a room where you can look at screens and see what's gone wrong, if anything, temperature there, fuel filter. So basically a screen for each of the engines. We've also got this little room here, which has got a workbench. Now I'm not entirely too sure what the workbench does at this stage, but I'm sure we'll find out in due course. And that, for now, I'm going to hit spacebar and teleport back to the bridge. So we've got different options for teleporting here. You can do engines, which is where we are now, bridge, deck, or take steering. So let's just do bridge, and then we can again find ourselves back here. And yeah, we'll just close this door for now. So what we're going to do is take the steering wheel, and hopefully it'll kick off the tutorial again here for us. So there we go. So we could undock, but the other thing that we're going to do is place the containers on the ship, obviously, before we do that. And oh, actually we need to dock, don't we, first? It's saying that we're not docked. So let's hold down K. And there we go, we're now docking. Which you would have thought that we would be if we stood there stationary, but anyway. So we're just going to go through the process, and basically we're going to be using the crane to load the containers. Now usually I don't think the captain of a ship would be doing this job, but as part of the tutorial, this is part of the game. So we're going to be moving this crane around. So she's just telling us basically the trucks come into place, and then we collect the containers and use the crane to put the containers on. the ship. So it's pretty straightforward. It's WASD to move the crane around, and then we raise or lower the hook using the mouse buttons. We've got Q and E to expand the width or reduce it, and then basically I've just knocked a load of stuff off my desk. We press F to grab the container. So we'll just go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to move this crane back a little bit, and you'll notice that this cabin sort of moves, and then obviously because these wires are connected to where the cabin's also connected to, then it kind of moves sort of afterwards slightly as it swings into action. We can lower it with the left mouse button. So I'm going to get it all the way down there. It's quite a way down actually. And then sort of try to line it up. You don't need to worry too much about damage and stuff like that. It's basically, I just move pretty quick. And we're in position. We don't need to do the width thing. It's already set correctly. We can hit F to grab the container, and we can lift it with the right mouse button and then drag it, start moving the crane across to where we want it to go. Now, what I would recommend is placing your stuff in a kind of methodical way. There's already a bunch of containers on there. When we get to where we're going, we're going to be aiming to offload the ones that we've put on. So let's place them right at the front here. So I'm going to hit F. I need to move it across a tiny bit. I was hoping it was going to let me do that there. Let's move it across a bit. Right. Now, F will offload it. So you can see that's pretty close to the bridge. And if we are facing away from the bridge, it'll be on the right side. So let's try and stack all of our containers in this one space here to make life easy. Right, we'll lift it again, move it back across. You see another truck is here now, and already I'm in position. And I'm going to do this fairly quick. Hopefully not have any damage or anything. You see I'm moving quick and probably a little bit recklessly, but you could take literally... Wow, I didn't expect that to happen. But you can literally take ages to do this. And really, I haven't come across a point where I've got any damage or anything, so I don't know whether damage is even a thing. This truck's kind of parked wonky. Still got it. We'll lift it a bit more. Right, so I'm placing these all in the first stack really here. Stacking my 3 containers on top of each other. So that's the 3 that we've got. We now need to secure them. So we'll just skip past that. And I'm going to hit spacebar again. And then I'm going to swap back to the ship itself. We're going to need to basically attach these 3. So we need to secure them with twist locks and secure the lashings. Now, the first time I did this, I didn't take any time to place my containers strategically, so I placed them all over the place because I thought it would highlight them when I get to my destination. It doesn't. So it's good to know where they are because we're going to be only offloading these ones. Because basically what I ended up doing was removing like tons of stuff that I didn't need to remove once I got to the destination because I was trying to find the ones that I'd placed. So we basically need to apply these lashings like that. So there's 2 at this end. I'm also going to do these twist locks, so there's 12 of those, so it'll be 6 at this end. So we'll close these, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, pretty straightforward once you know where everything is. So there's half of each, half of the lashings done and half of the twist locks. Oops. Right, there's my lashings secured. And then we'll do the twist locks like this. And there's the twist locks now done. So we're now going to be basically setting off. We're going to be utilising the map. Let's head up here. Alright then, so just taking a quick look at the map like it's suggesting here. It wants us to plot a destination and basically pop some waypoints on the map, which we're not going to do at this point, because if you try to do that now, it will tell you that you're trying to cross over land. So we'll do this after we actually exit the port. I'm also not going to hit the enter key like it's suggesting here, because that has unfortunately switched my screen mode in previous attempts, which also for some reason changes my screen resolution to 1080p, and that will mean that this recording will be messed up and you will end up with probably a smaller square in the top left hand corner, which, so we're not going to do that. But if I was to try and plan a waypoint now and click here, for example, it's going to tell me that I'm trying to plot a route which is leading over land, and even if I click up here, it's going to do the same thing. So we're not going to do that. We're going to end route planning for now, and we're going to exit the map, and hopefully that error will disappear. Right, let's head back up to the bridge. We'll close that door, we'll go back up here, and we'll start driving. So we're going to be sailing now to Mettington. So first thing, we need to get out of this port, so let's get behind the wheel. So the ferry has 3 motors, it's telling us here, 2 in the back and 1 in the front. The front and the back motors can be controlled separately. By rotating them, the ferry can turn in place or move sideways. I'm not entirely too sure how to control them separately, but that is actually quite good. Something that I can look into when we arrive at the port. Hopefully I'll remember to take a look. I'm sure it'll be in the controls how to separate the motors, but we'll have a look at that together. I have some information about this game, obviously about the update that we're going to run through, but obviously part of this playthrough is also Let's Play, me discovering new stuff. So let's hit F to continue. We're then going to hold down K to undock. That should be us now undocked. So yeah, the ropes have now been loosened. So let's just remember as well what I was saying there. Those containers that we've loaded is that red, blue and orange one, which are basically on that side, whether that's starboard or port. You guys can tell me in the comment section which way around it is, but yeah, it's closest to the left side of our ship. So let's make a start. Hopefully the anchor is up. It looks like it is. We've got some lights on. I'll just switch these other lights on for the sake of it, and then we'll just I think we can just start to put down a bit of power. So we want to be heading out that way, so we need to clear this reef here or whatever it is. So I'm going to start to put a bit of sideways propulsion on. Whoop, maybe a bit too much there, so we caught the back end of the ship coming round. Wow. Yeah, we need to be careful, obviously. Could have done with a bit more forward propulsion there before we started swinging out. But anyway, I'm just concerned about obviously hitting this thing. So let's swing round now. But yeah, this is a big bird. This is a big bird, big boat. Let's straighten up. So where we are actually heading is directly in front of us here. But we are going to have things like tides and wind to think about. So I'm not too sure at this stage, in the early stage of the game, whether we've got any damage. So she's telling us here, make sure we've got enough spare parts. Well, at this point in the game, this part of the tutorial, we haven't actually purchased any parts yet, so I have no idea. And it says there you can buy spare parts for your ship under the tablet under fleet. So let's just take a look at that by hitting T. We're then going to go fleet, and as we can see here, yeah. So we do have some spare parts with us at the moment, which is quite good. Alright, good stuff. We'll also exit this by hitting escape. We haven't really had a good look at the tablet yet, so that's something we'll probably do in the next episode if we continue this playthrough. I'm not entirely too sure whether I'm enjoying this game. I'm still making my mind up how I feel about it. Keep an eye on the weather. Strong winds and currents can easily throw off an inexperienced sailors. We're also going to be thrown off if we leave these tutorial windows open, because we don't have any control over the ship when that's happening. And we're also going to hit M now, and we can start to plot where we want to go. So if I hit plan waypoints and then just start basically doing that, it'll keep us on course to get to where we're going. And if you don't hit these waypoints, then they stay on the map, which is a little bit frustrating because it means that you kind of have to go to them, if that makes sense. If you like, you've got to collect them. If you've got to drive over them, if that makes sense. Otherwise, it's going to tell you to turn around and go back, which is, yeah, it's a bit weird, to be honest with you. That it should really know that you've passed that waypoint. There's another game that I've been playing, Ships at Sea, which I'm enjoying a great deal, and I'm looking forward to bringing that one to the channel. That one is also in early access and currently being updated a lot. And on that game you do have autopilot. Now I would like to see autopilot on this game. I don't know whether it's something that they plan to add in the future, but for example on this sort of journey right now where we are just driving in a straight line, autopilot would be fantastic. But let's have a quick look in the settings. Where is it? Options. I was looking for set options. Obviously is the one that we want to be going for. So we're going to talk about this DLSS in just a second because this is one of the things that's been added. But I just wanted to take a look quickly at the controls and just to see if there's anything under this, to see if there's anything about switching engine modes so that we could switch between the two. Don't know whether this is it. If you guys know, let me know in the comment section. Give me a shout. Because I don't have any control over my mouse. So I'm not able to click on those pods that we can see over there at the right. So I said in the last episode that those are the engines there that we can see. Now, I don't know how to control the top one. It's probably something that I could Google as we're driving here, to be honest with you, because we do have a fairly long drive in front of us. So might as well get into some of this update stuff while we are on this mission, and basically talking about the latest updates that have come to the game. So that's the addition of Nvidia DLSS now is in the game. There's also a default graphics setting that is applied after the game is ran for the first time after the update. So what happens now is the game runs a benchmark for you when you restart the game for the first time after the update, and then the default is applied after that. So for me personally, I'm now on epic settings. In the last video we were playing on high and we were using FSR because DLSS wasn't in it. Now DLSS is in. Basically we've got a bit of a better upsampling option where it does seem to be a bit smoother. Now we could switch on the new performance overlay that they've added into the game now as well, but I already did that using the Nvidia overlay and it all seems to be fine. We're getting about 60 FPS now, which isn't fantastic, but the frame rate for this game isn't good anyway. But yeah, it basically once it runs that benchmark you then get a new default setting, which is basically FSR on, frame generation on, and upsampling. Now I don't know if frame generation works with 20 and 30 series graphics card. I know FSR has a sort of option for that. I'm just wondering why it's telling us that my first waypoint is kind of in that direction when it's because we're slightly off course. See, this is what I mean, guys. So my first waypoint I plotted was actually over there, and even though I've sort of tried to head towards it, we're heading more for our goal destination. We're actually heading past the waypoint. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll replot. Let's do that now. Let's clear route again. To be honest with you, you don't even need to do that, do you? Because we've only got one destination, we can just do that. I don't know why I was bothering with all that stuff. Let's just exit, and then we'll just head for our destination like that. We've got a nice clear line that we should follow to get there. So continuing on, so it's got FSR frame generation and upsampling is set to 66% as default. There's also now a shader pre-compilation that runs. Now, it said in the notes that it runs following settings change or update of driver or the first time that you play it. But for me now, that shader compilation runs every single time I start the game. So I'm not too sure why that is. And I don't mind that it's running. I prefer it to run then than to have poor frame rate while it frame drops while it compiles shaders during the game. So I welcome that regardless, but there's also a bunch of new acknowledgements that it pops up at the start, legal acknowledgements and stuff like that that come up, which you can then click through, and there's one which is optional, which is kind of the performance stats. There's also increased fuel capacity for Herbert, which I think is the boat that we're driving now. Oh no, Richard it says there. I thought it was Herbert. Actually, we can hit tablet and go fleet, and then we can see here. So this is Herbert that we're driving now, even though it says Richard. I wonder if he's just called Richard for the tutorial. But anyway, the fuel capacity has been increased from 1,250 litres to 2,000 for the cargo ship. And also you can configure key bindings. So you can now assign the Z key, which was supposedly implements a better option for French keyboards. I'm not too sure why that is, but that's basically what's been updated, and it's good that they've been updating stuff. I'm glad DLSS is in there. I think that's a big one. Should have been in there from the start really though, but we won't complain. So let's see if I can find out something about these controls, but it's actually just popped up now, part of the tutorial. There's something gone wrong with the engine. You can see in the bottom right there's a light flashing. So we're going to hold down X to exit the steering mode. I'm going to go to the engines like that, and then you can see here now we've got a bunch of gauges on the left that are going to come up. We've also got some screens here that are telling us a bunch of stuff. So it's telling us there also, if you run out of spare parts and get stranded on an open sea, you can call the Sea Rescue. They can bring you back to the nearest port for a fee. So let's see. So it's directing us firstly to check temperature here. So let's do that by hitting F. As you can see, temperature is high, and we can see it's probably going to be the same on this one. So they're both high basically. So let's head out here, and then we can start doing a few things. So we can add coolant, and then we get this mini game now where we've got to click like this. So there's that one done. Let's do this one over here. Oh, that's air filter. We'll do coolant first. There's that one done. So both engines now have had the coolant restored. Let's see what else there is. So we can check oil here, and then we need to put some oil in. So remarkably, everything's gone wrong at once. So oil's done there. We'll do oil over here. You could do each side basically. So we check oil. Oil's low. Oil in like this. Alright, so thankfully the mini games are quite easy. Let's just head back in here and see what the other screens are showing. Okay, it doesn't want us to check that yet. Let's do these ones first. So air filter. Replace the air filter like that. So just in case of clicking on it or pressing the F key, that's now done. We'll do the air filter over here. So check air filter. Yeah, it's dodgy. We'll hit F again, replace the air filter. So that's 3 out of 4 things done. So it's quite quick, thankfully. So 2 things are left. We'll head in here. And so the fuel filter needs to be changed for both of these. And there we go. So that's now highlighted, and then we can go here and basically change the fuel filter. One's done, and then this one. Wow, repairing things on a ship is really easy. You just have to go up to it and hit the F key. Just kidding. Right, okay, that's all done. So we're now going to head back to the bridge. We'll go back to steering, actually. And there we go. So we're now quite a bit off course. We've got a boat in our way as well, which is always nice. One thing that I'm surprised about with this game, actually, is how... like, this radar is only a short distance. And you can't change it from what I can see. Unless there's some... like, plus and minus don't do anything. Page up, page down don't do anything. So, yeah. It's a bit of a weird one, really. But anyway, I am gonna now do that Google search and see if I can find out. Actually, let's just get rid of all this stuff. Let's get ourselves back on course. Why have I turned that like that? Unless it's the wind that's blown us that much just within seconds. But yeah, we'll get back on course. Right, so let's see. Seafarer. I'm just going to do a quick Google search while I'm doing a Let's Play cargo. Yeah, I don't know whether I don't know whether this is something we might have to cover on an upcoming episode because I'm not finding it here. It does say that you can do it. It says something about enabling manual controls. Let's have a look, see if it's got anything like that. Gameplay, unit system, intensity. And just again, I'm just going to check here. I'll check on the gamepad actually. So we haven't utilised the gamepad yet because I'm enjoying the keyboard control basically. Yeah, I don't see anything there that's going to be of any use to us. I wonder if it's on the spacebar options. So we've got radio, lights, teleport, engines. So you can go full astern or full ahead. Crew. Yeah, well, I can't find anything on that, guys. If you can see it, let me know in the comments section. So yeah, what I was saying there is, on this radar, I'm surprised that you don't see more, to be fair. So she's just saying that we're able now to spot our port. But like that boat, for example, there, didn't come up on the radar. Which is kind of weird, really. Like this echo sounder. So you can zoom out there. I don't know whether that's any use at this point, though. Not a great deal of use when we're just driving a very simple straight line where there's really nothing to worry about. I'm surprised there's no option for controlling the separate engines. So yeah, I guess we'll might put something on the Steam boards about that. Alright, anyway, we're nearly there, so we can think about docking and what that means. And obviously we need to remember that our cargo is on one particular side, so I think docking with that side of the boat next to sort of like where we're going would be ideal. So we want to be between at this point between these two lights. I don't know whether you can see those up ahead. There's one to the left which is red and there's one to the right which is green. We're going directly between those two and into basically the port. And we're going up here somewhere, although it'll give us more information once we get closer, I would have thought. So, like I said, guys, it doesn't tell you which ones are your containers to take off the boat. So that can be frustrating when it comes to lashing them, and basically those corner attachments as well that we fastened up, trying to find those. And then the craning part can be very frustrating if you don't know which are your containers, because it doesn't tell you on the screen which ones are yours. It only says this container is not to be offloaded, so it's very much trial and error. What's that up in the sky there? Is it a balloon? Like a hot air balloon? Alright, so here we are. We're on time. We're going to do a bit of docking action now. So it looks like we're going over there. So let's we'll just keep going as we are. So we'll clear this first entrance to the dock and then we'll start to turn. Got another vessel over there. Not too sure what's highlighted red, to be honest with you, because there is a vessel highlighted red there. Ship. Luxury yacht, tugboat. So I don't know what that means by ship. Like, what type of ship, you know? Because the tugboats are obviously highlighted separately. Is that just another a smaller cargo vessel, or what is it? Right, so I'm going to come in and stick to the left here, and then I'm going to swing round, hopefully. But because I don't know how to control that front engine separately, we're going to have to do a bit of a manoeuvre, really. It's a bit of a shame, really, that. So we can kill the engines with the E key, and we can straighten the engines with the Q key. But there's no way of, from what I can tell, of controlling those top engine separately, which is like, it would be ideal to kind of put this baby in sideways, you know. Q is very useful though. So let's stay wide, as wide as we can. We'll just start to ease off the power here. We're still moving pretty fast. We're not docking here. We're going to dock where it's telling us to. Got to be careful of the rear, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel that, like I said, there's no damage as such from what I've witnessed in the game. It might be different once we actually get started. It is supposed to be a simulator after all. But here we go. Right, I think we're just about in there now. Let's kill the engines off. We'll hit K. There, it's actually put us in there. So that's good. Right, we'll hit F and F again. And then we're going to hold down X to exit the steering. We're going to hit spacebar. We're going to go to the crane. And let's... Actually, before we do that, we need to unlock them, don't we? Sorry, my bad. Let's go back to our vessel. Right, so it's these three. So let's start by removing these. Now, if you see there, it's actually said that we haven't unlocked any of the lashings. And it was these three, right? What's weird is it's not suggesting that we've done anything there. Right. So is it... Hold on a sec, let's see. So it's now... So this is different to when I tried this before. It's telling us the ones that it wants us to offload. They highlighted red. Wow, that is different. So it's these now. Right, let's have a look. So which side's the crane on? So the crane's there. Right. We don't need to refasten those. We'll just leave it. Let's focus on the ones that it's asking us to do. So it's these three. So on the right side, looking forward, it's these three. Yeah, and now it's doing it. So it's asking us to offload ones that we haven't loaded. Don't know why. I'm just glad that they're highlighted. Whoops. Right, so that's done. And then there's one more here. Alright, good. Good. Let's go to the crane. Are they still going to be highlighted? Because that would be great. Yeah, they are. Alright, so this was not the case when I tried this before. Okay, let's pull this one out. Where's the truck? Oh, there it is. I would literally be fired as a crane driver now, though, for swinging this thing around like this. Alright, there's truck one. I'm so glad that this is highlighted. I can't tell you the relief, guys. It must be a bug where sometimes it's not highlighted, because it certainly wasn't before. We see another truck's moved into place now. Alright, 2 more to go. Alright, let's just lift them a bit. Bit more. Last one. And there we go. Excellent. Alright, we're going to go back to the bridge and take the steering, I think. Don't know why. Take the steering. What are we doing? Let's see. Alright, so there we go. Great work. Everything's where it belongs. If you're interested in shipping loads by sea on the really big shipping container ships, give us a call. So now, if we hit F, we've completed the 2 tutorials, got ourselves a little Steam achievement, and now we can choose, do we want to go shipping, do we want to go cargo, logistics, or do we want to go with the police option? I'll tell you what, guys, let me know in the comment section if you want to see more of this game. And basically, yes, we are going to I'm going to take whatever you guys say in the comment section. If you want to see more, let me know which one you want to, which faction you want me to go with. That would be great as well. If you want to see police or if you want to see the logistics, let me know. I really hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please do hit the like button. Hit me up in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd love it if you'd go ahead and do that and hit the notification bell to be notified of up-and-coming videos. Otherwise, guys, please do take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you guys again soon.